he's doing a project on Burma, or actually not Burma, India. You're the World War, and basically wanted to know about your trip out. When did you start? When did you sign up? Your trip out to India?
Start bringing it in India.
Early 19. When did the Japs attack?
1942. It was 42 when they kicked the British out of Burma.
No, I think it was December 1941, wasn't it?
When they attacked first.
Yeah, December. It was December 1941.
Yeah.
Well, it was 1942 when I went out. When I was on the boat, early January or so.
And when did you sign up, or when were you conscripted, or did you sign up, or were you conscripted in Scotland?
Well, I was conscripted in 1940.
And you were living in Greenock at that time?
When I was living in Greenock, and you come 20 years of age,
yeah,
you're conscripted as soon as you came 20. And went down to a place called Loughborough, was the first place we went, and got, kitted out with army clothing. And then from there I went to Somerby, Market Harbour, and then up the north of Scotland, Tain. And then from Tain away up to Wick, you're changing.
You're moving around a lot.
Away up to
You moved around quite a bit.
Yeah, and the way up to Tain. And when I was in Tain, I was put on the draft for abroad, and I got a month's leave, I think it was. And then I found out the actual departure was we got on the train at Fort George. That's outside Inverness, Fort George. Went on the train and down to the boat and the Firth of Clyde, just off Greenock, my hometown. And when we were on the ship, we were able to get more, there was wee boats coming out, and and this fellow owned a pub, and he got this fella to tell his father, and notify my parents too, we were on the ship, and then we had to wait for a big convoy, and then we sailed way down the west coast of Africa, and we called into Freetown. You've heard of Freetown?
Yeah.
That was a place set up, they freed slaves.
Yeah.
And we called in there, but nobody allowed off. I don't know what provisions or what it was they called in for. And the natives were coming out in boats trying to sell fruit, but they didn't want you to enter the fruit in case you get sick with it or something.
Yeah.
They were hosing the natives away. But they would dive for money. And when they dived down some of it and they found the silver, they wouldn't dive for coins, for coppers, but they dived for silver. And when they found the coppers wrapped up in silver paper, you effed me up there saying for a Glasgow tanner, the Scots wouldn't get the blame here.
So how long did it take you to get down to Freetown? How many, were you travelling for weeks?
I thought it took us about 5, 6 or 7 weeks or something. It was even an awful while, and we went down the coast of Africa. We didn't go through the Suez Canal. Yeah. Because we flew right down the coast of Africa. And then we called into Durban, Cape Town. Called into Cape Town first. And all the soldiers were getting off. There was a big lady there, she was famous, big bus, and she would sing to the troops from the docks. And the troops were getting off, and there was South African, British, European type of South African. They were waiting for the troops, and they were whisking them away. And they spent the night with them, and spent the day with them. And by the time our regiment got off, there was not a bloody sinner. All we had to go was the Salvation Army canteen.
And you were the Seaforth Highlanders?
Yeah, Seaforth Highlanders, yes.
And I take it that was...
The 1st Battalion. The
First Battalion. I take it there was quite a few battalions at that point of it.
Oh, we had the 1st Battalion, Seaforth Highlanders. Yeah. And then we left Cape Town, we called into Durban as well. And then from Durban over to Bombay. And at Bombay, we marched off the boat through Bombay to this camp and we're only in it an hour, right? Pack up again, and we're marched away through Bombay again to the railway station, and from there we went up to Delali, and we're only in Delali, I think, a night, and the next thing we were away up, landed up in Agra, and we're 2 or 3 months in Agra, and then most of our battalion went up the line to Assam, but there was a small detachment, and I was lucky enough to be one of the, and we went to the Red Fort, and it was the Red Fort had been turned into what do you call it? It was a depot for all ammunition and
an arms dump?
an ordnance.
Yeah.
It had been an ordnance depot, you know.
Yeah.
And we were more or less like guarding it. We'd go and guard duty and that. And there was a swimming pool in it. And we were able to go to this, you book a swimming pool.
Yeah.
And you get in it in no time. And there were big barracks. And then we're in there for a while, and then while I was there I get malaria. I was in hospital in Delhi with malaria, and then I come back out again and went up the line to Assam. Went on the train right across India to Calcutta, through Calcutta, and went on a boat and sailed up the Brahmaputra. That's one of the longest rivers,
Yeah.
I think, in the world, about 1,800 miles or something like that, you know. It's a long river. And we sailed up that to, I don't know the destination it was, and then we got off of that and went on to trucks then, and went up the road, from there up in Kohima and Assam, Imphal, Palel.
Yeah.
You know, Imphal and Palel were there in the Burma, Assam-Burma border.
And was that when the Japanese were actually invaded at that point, had they?
Well, no, the Japanese, they were in Burma, but they weren't exactly, we weren't nose to nose with them, but we were sent out in patrols to try and find them.
Yeah.
You know, but we never actually bumped into them. I was out in patrols, and we went from Assam down into the Kabul Valley, they call it.
Yeah.
Kabul Valley, and we'd get a canoe, one of the Burmese would take us across, and there was about 8 of us on the patrol, a sergeant, and about 7 of us soldiers, you know, and privates, and there was an Anglo-Burmese as an interpreter.
Yeah.
And when we'd get into villages, different villages, and I was told that we were sent in there to actually make a noise. I don't know if you ever heard of the Chindits.
Yeah, the Chindits, yeah.
Well, the Chindits, they went into Burma and they caused mayhem, but then when they were finished, they had to march out again. And the route was up through the Shan states.
Yeah.
But to try and draw the Japs down, that we were sent in to do these patrols to try the Japs to draw them down on us, so these fellas would go through that passage.
Yeah.
But like that, some of the fellas get lost, and we were out in this patrol, and I was sent out with we went across the river and went into the first village, and beside the Anglo-Burmese interpreter, we get one of the native Burmese to act as guide. And I was sent out with the Anglo-Burmese, with the Burmese, as a scout in front, and I had a Tommy gun. And I was about 100, 150 yards in front of the rest. And we came to this wee stream, and I said, "Oh, take out Johnny," and I jumped on his back, take it across the stream. The water was only up about your ankles, you know. But I went to this room here, the stream, and you're across, and there was tall jungle grass and a path, and we went up the path about 100 yards, and then I knelt down to cover the rest of the patrol coming across. And suddenly, the Burmese was beside me, and whatever it was, that startled me, and the old heart jumps, and I put the safety catch off the Tommy gun. And I don't know how to hold that. These fellas come bursting out the jungle, shouting. But I managed to spot, these were 19 soldiers from the King's Regiment. They were part of the Wingate expedition, and they'd get lost. And they'd been getting chased with the Japs here and there. And they were in an awful state. Their feet was all sore and blisters. And luckily it wasn't Japs. They'd spotted me before I spotted them. But no, they seen the Scotch, you know, that Tommy, you know, you see in the picture. Well, we always wearing that with a tassel. And they spotted that. And they come running out the jungle yelling. And I don't know, if I'd have pressed that trigger, there's 28 bullets come out of that in the Tommy gun. I would have slaughtered them, but it could, you know, heart's good. I just happened to spotted the bush hats with the side up. You've seen the stallions wear them with bush hat, and one side is up and the other one, and they usually got a tassel and all sunflower. And I just spotted the hat, and they come out and they threw their arms round me and they were hugging me and kissing me. We'll never forget the jokes as long as we live, they were saying. And they were novels there. So we took them back down the path again into a paddy field, and we got the wee dishes turning like, it was like a wee tin of polish, and you take the lid off it, and you have a wee stand, you put it in the stand, and you put a match to it, and it's solidified fuel. Just like a wee tin of polish it is. And the wee stand, you know, you put it in it, and there's a wee, the flames, you put it, your Dixie on top, and you can boil up water, and or make a drop of rice or anything if you got it. So we made tea and dropped up some rice and put some tomatoes in it we got at the village, mixed it up, and would say sit down for the rest of the night, and they slept. And we stayed with them that night and give them rest because they're in an awful state. And then we got the next morning, we went back to the river, and we ferried them across the river. Well, them fellas were in an awful state on their feet, but they had an awful walk back again up over the hills before they would get near a road where a 30 hundredweight truck could go in it, you know. And we don't know what happened to them after that. But I you know, you hear a friendly fire. I could have killed those fellas just because they just come bursting out of the jungle. They never give us any warning. They just had this, they were ready to leave when they seen the Tommy, the Scottish tassel.
And was that up near Kohima, that, or was that up near Kohima, or was that further?
That was way below. I was in the Burma. Kohima was in that town.
Oh right.
Kohima was over the Burma, but this was in the Kilbar. This was actually in Burma.
Right.
Over the Chinwan River. We were across the Chinwan River.
Yeah.
We had a book in the library there. So then there was a village, and they were mentioned, your regiment was mentioned. Do you never see it?
Is that the one Dad has?
I don't know if
I think you gave a book to Dad, or Dad mentioned some book he got out of the library by Kohima.
No, this was in the Chinwan River. We used to go patrols down there, you know, to patrol the Chinwan River. And then this was the first time we went into different villages, you know, and the villagers would all asking for the sergeant to give him a list of medical supplies they need.
Yeah.
You know, so when he'd get back, he would notify the proper authorities, and they'd go and they'd drop the plane.
Yeah.
You know, and what they needed. And the natives, you know, you've seen them shops that they have out, and it's just like a front, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like a stage, it's more like a wee stage, and they put all their goods in it, don't they?
Yeah.
And they sit in it, in the middle of their goods. But they'd cleared this out, and it was all empty, and they'd put a table in it. And they made a dinner for us, what it was. But it was funny looking stuff, and some of the fellas wouldn't eat it. I says, I had a go at it, you know, and the whole village was all in front of us, all with big smiles, and I ate this dinner. I was sick for 3 days after it.
That was the one, the rotten fish or anything, no? Was that the one?
No, it was more than used to, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I had it, a mixture. I was sick, I was always filling my guts up.
I take it the weather was quite hot when you were out there, especially up that part of the world.
But it's quite cool in the evening, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you just it wasn't that hot, and you're that high up there, you see.
Up in the hills.
We were that high up. We were down in the India, you see, but we were away up in the hills where it's a lot cooler. You know, the Assam Hills.
Yeah.
Because we were wearing the tassel, we weren't wearing the sun hats or anything like that, we were wearing the ordinary Balmoral. Wouldn't even wearing a steel helmet, we were wearing the Balmoral.
Yeah. And when were you when you were a chef? When was that? When you were the cook? Where was that in?
Oh, that was in Blighty before I went abroad.
That was all done this end.
I never done any cooking abroad. I very nearly landed when I was in New Delhi in the barracks. This Sergeant Major Company, Robertson, you were a cook, weren't you? She was in my records. I'd been a Lance Corporal when I was a cook.
Yeah.
But when I got put with the cookhouse, I lost my back to private again. And then he said, you could cook. The cook down in the cookhouse in the Red Fort took sick, you see. No, I don't want to, didn't want to get back to the cooking at all. Well, you'd better go and what need you. So I went down to the cookhouse. But I don't think I'd have had to die in because there was all the natives cooks, and probably I would have just been their kind of supervisor. In fact, they would have done it. I think it was. I don't think I'd have done a good cushy job. I may have landed a good cushy job there, but I was only in the bloody thing when I took malaria. That's when I took malaria, and the bloody. I was only in the cookhouse about an hour when I felt queer and I went sick, malaria. I went into the hospital, so I lost that.
And you had malaria a couple of times, didn't you?
I had it then when I was up the line. When I was up in Assam, I got malaria again. That was the first time I got it though. So I maybe missed a good job there. I may have had a cushy, but things worked out all right anyway.
And where was the place you stayed one time you got into the wrong bed? Where was that?
The what?
Do you remember one night you got up and you came back and you got into the wrong bunk?
Oh, that's the time I got malaria the second time, you see. The second time I got into malaria. Well, after I'd been in hospital, you send you back to your unit. Well, you got on the train and there's transit camps. And I stopped at this transit camp. Under canvas, you know, no huts, all canvas. And there was a beer issue. And I applied. And what you do is, you go and apply and you get a ticket that allows you to buy 2 pints, 2 bottles of beer. You can't get it unless you've got these tickets. But you get somebody that doesn't drink, but he smokes, so you give him a few fags for his ticket. So actually that's another 2 bottles. So, and you're not used to it. The big Australian bottles.
Yeah.
Australian beer it was. So during the night when I needed to go to the toilet and in the dark, when I came back I couldn't find my tent. And I looked around every tent and I found a tent and I looked, it was the exact same position as mine and there was nobody in it. So I went down and lay down in it. But then when I woke up in the morning, there was all strangers in the tent. I had to go up and run around again there. And I was only in my underwear. And there's me running about the camp in my underwear, lifting up tents to have found somebody I'd recognised. But somebody I found.
You okay then? Oh God. How long, you were out there from when? From what,
42 to 44. I was actually in hospital in Chittagong. That's part of Bangladesh now.
Yeah.
It was part of India then, but it was Bangladesh, Chittagong. It was the port, I was in hospital there. I was flown out in a cargo plane. The Japanese had us surrounded. The American pilots were flying in ammunition and food and everything in these planes, and then they were flying out the wounded. So the flow is out to Chittagong, and I was actually in the hospital when they came over the radio about D-Day landing. So that was the 6th of June.
You were flown out in the 6th
So
of June.
that's how I can pinpoint it. It was actually in Chittagong on the 6th of June. So it must have been just the end of May I must have been wounded.
Yeah.
Because I was about a week in the hospital up, and they were that busy. When I was wounded, I was strapped up by the regimental first aid guy,
Yeah.
you know. You've got first aid guys and they've got their own
Yeah.
badge and everything. They trussed me up, and then I lay there all night, and the next morning I had to walk 4 miles after I was wounded. And then to be got to a jeep track, and then I got on a jeep for so long, and then I got on a 30 hundredweight truck to the hospital. And the award, look after yourself. They were that busy with the wounded. You see, the Japanese were heavy fighting on it. And I was just lay there and look after myself. And after, I think it was 2 or 3 days, nobody can hear me. Just in the ward. Then I was put on the plane, and it was just, you know, the bare. It was a cargo plane. You were just sitting in boxes, and the flew us out to Chittagong, and then that was a big proper hospital, you know.
So, nobody dressed your wound that day when you were in the hospital?
No, not for them couple of days. No, they just looked at me and, you're all right, you know.
And you were injured up near about Bangladesh then, I take it?
Doesn't it?
Was it up near what's Bangladesh now?
Oh, no,
Injured, were you injured?
Bangladesh was away. Well, we weren't with a plane, I had to go with a plane to.
Oh, you were flown to
Flown to Bangladesh.
Right.
No, I was in the hospital, I mean, it must have been about Impala somewhere,
Right.
you know, or Palel or somewhere. I don't actually know the position, in fact, but it must have been round about Impala or Palel, the hospital, and then we were flown out to Bangladesh.
And then from there, where did you go?
Then I was in there for a while, and then we went on a boat and sailed down the coast India to what's the name? Look at the flipping map again. I remember the Nizam Hyderabad estate.
Yeah.
I remember that the Nizam Hyderabad estate. There was a big hospital there, and while I was there, I heard there was one of my regiment, a fella called Curly White, and he'd been wounded when the Japanese attacked us. Say that was our perimeter.
Yeah.
Well, we were in this corner, and Curly was there looking out that way, and I was in this position here looking out that way. And then there was other fellows, and what they used to do when the Japanese attacked at night, even if you couldn't see, we used to would fire rounds, and they'd be firing that way, we'd firing that way, so the Japs were going through a field of fire. Well, here Curly, it was a grenade or bomb of some kind that they'd pushed over. The Japs had pushed over, and it blew up his broom gun, and his chest was all pitted, and it blew out his eyes. He got blinded.
Oh,
and when we were lying in that position, our officers, they phoned up for support, gun support. And it was a mountain battery. You've seen the mountain batteries in the Indian films when the 2 wheels are on the side of the mule and the barrel's on another bull, and then they build well, it was that kind of battery. It was way up in the hills. And I could see the flash, and then I counted to 11, and I heard boom. You could see the flash now, you could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, boom, and then whoosh, you'd hear the boom, and then the whoosh of the shell landing. And they were landing the shells round about our position. The Japanese were attacking it, and they were landing the shells. And there was good firing
That's
too.
good firing.
We up in the morning, there was Japs lying around dead, around in position.
Yeah.
And then we were in that position, there was a lot of fellas, must have been more, there were a lot of fellas killed over in this corner. They did just had to put them in the grave and cover them up in the morning. There's 2 or 3 of the boys killed.
And how did you get injured then?
Yeah?
How did you get shot?
Oh, that was not that day. The next morning then we advanced against the Japanese. We were chasing them, the Japanese there. And we went down this road, and then there was firing in front of us. And next thing I seen my section commander rushing back. He was a corporal. He was wounded. And I said, there, that lucky bugger wounded. And I heard, he died later on in shock.
Oh, you're kidding me.
You know, it fights different fellas. Died with shock.
Yeah.
So we advanced to kind of a black wall. It was a village, and the Japs were in the village again. So we stopped, and the officer says, right, you can brew up to, and they phoned again for air support.
Yeah.
And these hurry bombers come over. And the one was a Dr. Bomb just right behind us, not in front of us. So then they were bombing this village. And here I got out my wee can for me to brew up. Everywhere you went, first thing you chance to get, you brew up. And I lit up the wee can. And I never cleared the bloody grass. See, I should have, you have a wee spade thing.
Yeah.
And I should have cleared the spot for the can. And here the bloody grass caught fire.
Oh, sure.
And all our ammunition, you know, you took your grenades and ammunition that was lying around, we'd take off our equipment and let it down, we say. And I was that busy grabbing my grenades and ammunition. But this was like, you bloody fools, you see, that a signpost with a flamethrower be a target, you know, for the Japs to aim at, you know. But anyway, we managed to get the fire out, and I lost a lot of tea and sugar with that fire. I was mad. But you used to shave up your tea and sugar, you know.
Yeah.
So the next thing we get fixed bayonets, and we charged up into this village. And we went up the road, there was some on that side of the road, you know, and we charged up. And I heard later on that bloody jeep went down that road and blew up, the bloody mine in it. But we were running down the side of the road, and we went up into this position, and the Japs had all the village all dug up, lovely trenches they dug, great position. And we went in here, but the Japanese had flown again. But we were just in the trenches, and the next thing, boom, 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 the Japanese were mortaring us. So, again, we were in the trench, out the tea, made more tea. That's right, that's another thing. The bombs were more above the bomb, and we were busy making tea again. Right. And then we were there, and we get orders to advance again. And where we were, when we want water, but this side of the hill, there was not a bloody stream or a drop of water. And see, when we went over the hill, there was a stream in this, there was this road, and there was a bloody blood stream every about 100 yards to the mountain. It was all running down this. And this place we were going through, the bamboo, you were hanging your way through it. I suppose we were the first people in creation had ever went through there. It was virgin land, you know, thick bamboo forest, and you had to hack your way through it. And I had my turn of doing lead man. But by the time the last man goes through, it's like, they think it's a bloody blade path. Yeah. Because, you know, you hack and every people behind you, they're doing maybe a wee bit. But you're the original, you're the worst part of hacking your way through it. And went through this and over into the other road. And then we started moving up here. And the next thing, our scout, we nearly bumped nose with the Japanese scout. See, we were behind the Japanese lines.
Yeah.
This time. We went behind the Japanese line. And the rest of our battalion and some other battalion, they were chasing the Japs down the road, and there was us going up against them. And we had later on, it was a Japanese commander, and he had an elephant and all with him, and we had bumped into it. and he didn't want to engage with us at all. He wanted to get round us. So he had probably just left a detachment to engage us while he get round us, and away he went. But anyway, you're about 6,000 feet up, you're looking down in the clouds at times. But anyway, we rushed up this hill, with the Cud we called it. But the Japanese, the side that they had was a bit higher than the bit of hill we were, and it was more bushy, and they were looking down on us, and we were more exposed. But by that time, the battalion, my section commander got wounded.
Yeah.
Well, me as a Lance Corporal, I was next in charge, so I was in charge of the section then. So this officer come up with me and says, you know, you see here, I'd got a wee place with a bit of a mound and got down behind it. And, oh, you'll have to advance, he says, young lieutenant. So we advanced and went down over the hill. But then we were down in a hollow. And unless I wasn't going to advance on my bloody own. I wanted the whole company to come with. So when we got into the, I looked out for some place for shielding, and I was looking for a place, and I was calling up, like, you go there, you go there. And then I turned round to call up this other fellow out. I found a position for him, and just as I turned the bullet at me, Japanese sniper must have, you know, and they looked for somebody in command to shoot. And just as I turned, if I'd have stayed like that, he'd have probably got me there, but I just happened to turn like that to call up this fella to come. And it spun me round, and I went in my nose. So I just got up there and then I grabbed my rifle, and I said to the whole section, right, and I went back to my original position, where there was a bit of shelter. Yeah. And I just stayed there, and I walked down to the first aid, the young lieutenant was in charge. I said, I've had it, somebody look after those lads. So the first aid man, he looked at me and he strapped me up, and then I lay there all night, and then the next morning I got up, had to walk about 4 miles till we got to a place where we could get a wee jeep to take me. You see fellas getting shot in the pictures there, you know, they're nearly dead. I had to get up and
walk on,
take charge of my section and take them back, and then get up the next morning and walk 4 miles.
And then you were flown, once you got back to the line.
And then I was in the hospital, and then I was flown to Chicago.
Yeah.
And then when I was in that hospital, they put me in a big plaster all around my body and round my arm, and my arm was up like that. You know, the plaster was right round my body and round my arm and up like that, and I was up like that. And it was that way till I got to Blighty. When I went to hospital in Ormskirk, the bloody hell, and they cut it all off. What the bloody hell? And they put a wee bit of plaster from there to there, you know, on it. Put it in the sling. That'll do you all right.
You were saying earlier you met this guy Curly White when you were moved down.
Well, when I was in that hospital in Secunderabad, I heard about Whitey, Curly White, and I went down, and I seen a nurse, and so she's down there. So I went down, and I was chatting with Curly and getting them all the news. So I got like I said, I'll try and see if I can get up tomorrow and see you again, Curly. Because I was leaving, a nurse stopped me. She says, your friend, that young son, she said, I want you to come back there at the morning. She said, that's the first time we've seen him smiling even since he came in here. She said, you come down again. So I went down, I was going down every day, and they'd play bingo, and I would do Curly's card for him, you know. Yeah. So the next thing I was on, Curly was getting sent home, and I was on the boat as well. And when we got on the boat to go home, from Secunderabad we went on a train to Bombay, right across the country. Karachi was this side and Bombay's the other side of India. It wasn't Karachi, Karachi's the way different. Yeah. I forget the name, Madras it was, yes. Madras, it just came in with there, Madras, and then Nigel Mahandabads had said it was off it. that was on the other side of the country from Bombay. We went right across to Bombay to get the boat home. And when I went on the boat, the next thing I think came over to Tannoy with Private James Robertson reported such and such award. And when I got there, this time she said, why do you come down every day with this soldier here? Nearly, I think I must have been sent home as a nursemaid for Curly. And I was down with Curly every day. And when I was lying there was a lovely young Indian nurse. Oh, she was beautiful. She came over and she started washing me. And this doctor came passing by. Hey, you know a walking wound, aren't you? I said, I'm going to tell yourself, and he chased her away. I was enjoying the attention of this young, I mean, Indian nurse she was. You know, so every day I'd go down with Curly, and and the way back went through the Mediterranean, through the Suez Canal. Through the Suez Canal.
At that point.
And through the Mediterranean, past Gibraltar.
Yeah.
And that's the first time I've ever seen Ireland. We sailed up the coast, the Irish Sea, and the Irish coast was on the left, we could see that, but then sailed into Liverpool. But when we got to Liverpool, Curly was sent away to a different hospital from me. I was sent to Ormskirk. And while we were in there, we were allowed out, we went into town, we went into the pub. There was 5 of us, 5 pints. Well, they're paid for. 5 more pints. They're paid for. People around were paying. We're in hospital blues, you know.
Yeah.
So, what about 5 pints? When I went home, went to the hospital, up in the morning. I'd go to bed. And the young nurses were coming round to make the bed, and there's me lying in bed.
That many pints in you?
It's made a wee bit and they had a good laugh at it. Young nurses, they had a bloody laugh at it.
And what time of the year was this? Or when did you get back home? Or when did you get back to Liverpool?
It must have been still 44, because it was only a few weeks. I mean, that was in June.
June,
and it was shortly after, by the end of June, I suppose I got home, or July, you know.
Yeah.
And then when I got to this side, when I landed in Blighty, Ormskirk, I was in that hospital for a few, and then I was sent home and leave. I was sent home and leave. Once I cut off that and put the wee plaster on and put my bandage. And that was all right, you know, that wasn't that bad. Not saying I'd got up and walked around, but when the bullet went right through, you see. When there was a wee hole there and a wee hole out back, this bullet went right through it. And I've seen fellas that get bullets in the exact same place as me, but they got explosive bullets, and everything was smashed up, all their sinews and everything. They were a hell of a stay. You know, I was lucky. Just went through and it never, just smashed the bone, broke the bone in my arm right now. But it was fun. And then I was sent home and leave, and I was able to go.
Were you about when he was home and leave, or were you?
No, she'd been back. She was back in Ireland by that time.
Were you?
When I went home and leave, weren't you?
And you're
Oh no, you were. I met you. The neighbours held a party for me.
Yeah.
In the house. And her and Nan Gallagher, you mean Nan Gallagher, go over here.
Yeah.
She was Nan Turner or not. Her and Kathleen came in. They were going to a dance. You know, there was thousands of sailors and soldiers and Greenock that time. And you were going to they were going to a dance, and they called in. And I remember the 2 girls come in and introduced.
Yeah.
I didn't really pay much attention to her then.
I was
too busy
she was your
in the
neighbour,
party
wasn't
with all the neighbours.
You lived across from?
I just see, that was one door and the one door there. Not even as wide as that.
The top flat, the 2 flats, 2 doors, one facing the other.
This was our door here, and we came out the door, and just about that distance, there was her door next door, on the landing.
Landing at the top.
And your mother had been told that you'd been killed in India.
She got a letter back, and across it was written deceased.
Oh, she had sent it out to you.
She sent me a letter, and she got the letter back, and right across it, was deceased. And it turned out it was another fella called Robertson,
Right.
and he had died. I know he died of constipation.
You're kidding me.
It killed him. Every way you get bunged up, and they never reported it. And
Dehydration.
it killed him.
Probably.
You know, dehydrated.
And how did you find out then? Your mother had been told? Like,
Yeah, I think you got to talk. I was in guard in the Red Fort in New Delhi when I was taken off the guard and taken up to the commanding officer.
oh, right. Yeah.
There's been some unfortunate mistake, and your mother or something's been notified you were a casualty or something. They said, I want you to sit down right away and right.
And that was before you gone up the line to Kahina.
That was before.
That was
That was when I was in Delhi.
Yeah.
You know.
And who was the guy that used to be Batman for? Well, you were telling me about
Murray
South
Gass.
Africa. Was that in? That was out there. Or was
That was up in the line. Once I was up in the line.
Right.
That was up. once went up to Assam.
Yeah.
I got that job as with Murray Gass. He was South African. He was the black sheep of the family, I think.
I wonder what happened to
He
him.
was a great drinker and womanizer.
Yeah. Right. And then I take it, did you spend then the rest of the war back here then? I take it from 1944 on. Then you were back in Scotland.
Once that's it. Once in different we were Nairn,
Yeah.
and then we were Strathpepper, and then we were in Tain.
Yeah.
No Tain. Where was it? No, Strathpepper. I think I was in Strathpepper when I was demobbed.
And can you remember when, like the VE day? Can you remember where you were that day?
Maryhill Barracks.
Were you?
Yeah, I landed up in Maryhill Barracks.
And that's when you got the news there.
It was full of Norwegian officers, and we were in a job in their is looking after them, you know,
Yeah.
and serving and washing up and setting tables and all
Yeah.
that, you know. It was a cushy job, and that's where I met Tommy Divers. I was finished up, I was his best man at his wedding, Tommy Divers, and we'd go out at night at the weekend. This sergeant used to give us a big glass of gin. He wouldn't give us a whiskey. He saved all the whiskey. The spirits, see every third bottle of spirits that he had to sell, the third bottle was his own. He watered the rest for these officers.
Yeah.
And when he was going home and leave, his kit bag was full of booze, and he made a fortune. When he was down in London, he was a Londoner, and he was selling it, because it was hard to get during the war. He made a bloody fortune. But he looked at, we didn't say nothing because we'd go out the weekend, he'd get a big thing. So when we went out, one pint, we'd buy 1 pint.
Nowadays.
And that would do us all night until we'd go to the dance in Glasgow. One night we used to go to the Irish dancing, and the other night we'd go to the Scottish dancing, and it was the same crowd that went to both, and it was the same dancing. And we couldn't do any of them, but we got them hooking around, you know.
And then when were you demobbed? When was that?
July 1946. I was called up in July 1940, and I was demobbed in July 1946.
6 years.
Huh?
6 years.
1946.
Long time.
6 years.
And what had you been working at when you were called up? What were you working at before when you were?
I worked as a lemonade salesman, door to door.
And that was the photograph we had of you.
Yeah, maybe you've seen it, yeah. Door to door trade. I started as a van boy, 10 shillings a week, and then it went up to 15 shillings a week. And you're working from 8 o'clock in the morning to sometime 12 and 1 o'clock in the morning, if in the summer time.
Yeah.
You're away down the coast. About 1 o'clock in the morning by the time we got up, and then you're up the next morning up away out to 8 o'clock again. 6 days a week.
So the army was a bit of a rest for you then, was it? The army was a bit of a rest for you
6
then?
days a week, 1 day off a year, New Year's Day. You didn't get Christmas Day. The only time you get Christmas Day, if it fell on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Christmas Day, but if it fell any other day, we worked it. But we got New Year's Day off, and no holidays. And then when I was 17, I'd asked him to get a learner to learn the driving. You see, and he'd give me permission. But here, he'd caught the fellow on the horse lorry was doing a bit of fiddling, and they sacked him. So I asked him to go on the horse lorry, and at first he refused me. He said, "No, you're too young." I was just 17. But then he came down on the Monday and says, they must have talked it over with the sons and that, and they must have said, Jimmy Robertson's a responsible fella. He said, okay. And I remember getting on, I was driving, I nearly knocked down the bloody gates going out, the horse going out the door the first time. And the horse and cart was all modern. And it had car wheels on it, pneumatic tyres,
Yes.
and mudguards, car mudguards on it. And I had a battery on it under you know, a raised seat, and the battery under the seat, and with side lights and a tail light from the battery.
Horse cart as well.
Oh, it was right modern wee lorry. But the result is, when we used to be, Paddy was an Irish cob, and the other, you know, these bakery vans, you've seen the bakery vans with the 2 big wheels and 2 smaller wheels. You ever seen them?
Yes, yes.
And the iron rims. I never up along Paddy on the iron. Old Paddy would cock, you see. And we were coming from the Battery Park one time, and I used to meet this bakery van, and I would give his horse a bottle of lemonade. He'd put the lemonade in there, and they would drink it, and he'd give Paddy some buns, stale buns, you know, exchange. But we're coming from Battery Park, we thought we'd get a race. And as soon as his old cart with the raglet come up with Paddy went away like a hell of a hell. He couldn't pass Paddy. But when we got to just about Princess Pier, you know, we slowed down, and I seen old Paddy, he come out in a thick white foam. And I get worried. And I went down this side street, and I got him out the braces, and I waved him down as best I could, and then I got him into the braces as far, and up home. You know, we're heading for home.
Yeah.
And as soon as we got into the garage, I got him stripped as soon as possible, and I gave him a good rub down.
Yeah.
And I just gave him a wee drop of water. I didn't give him too much. And I was worried in case I might kill the old horse.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a racing bloody horse. I never raced him again after that. Give me a fright, old Paddy. When I went into the army, he died of a bolt in the heart, they say.
Aye.
No, they said, the bad old buggers know, you'd be just walking by them, and they'd whip the tail and wipe you right across the face. Just you couldn't buy them. The round would come and wipe you right across the face with their tail. Paddy, the Irish cob. And when I started, I was getting 15 shillings a week as a van boy, working them long hours. I mean, on the old horse lorry, we're still working long hours in the winter. I've seen 11 o'clock at night, from 8 o'clock in the morning, the old horse and cart, and had all day. You took some food with you.
And what were your wages then when you were in the army? Were your wages
well,
better?
when I got the horse lorry, I got 27 shillings a week then, and commission. And you didn't commission what you saw, you get commission on what empties you brought by.
Yeah.
You see, the empties to him were important, because they were dear, and there was only a penny, I think, in each ball. You know, you give them back the pen when you got the ball. But it cost 2 or 3 balls for the ball. So he encouraged you to collect the empties. So that's it. If you went up, if one of the other fellas had sold somewhere near your thing when you went and you get his empties, you get his commission then, because if you got his empties back. And there was, and we sold the wee small half pint balls. That was for Haytons. And the big pint ball was tuppence halfpenny. And the half-gallon jar was 8pence halfpenny. And the half-gallon jars weren't aerated drinks, they were brewed drinks.
Yeah.
Dandelion and burdock, haw pale, still lemon.
Imagine remembering all that.
and we sold big jars of special vinegar as well.
God.
So we can't use this vinegar. And we charged £1 for the big jars. But that year, we all getting, when the customers got them, these big jars for £1, they came for hot water balls.
Oh God, aye.
They're just like, big stone jars of peel liver. It was just like that. Only with the job, we got them by, we'd commissioning them as well, you see.
Yeah.
You got them by. But you'd be driving along in the summertime, bang! Explode with the heat. You know,
Like bottles.
see, they're fermented, they're brewed, they're fermented, and they'd explode. You'd pop, the thing, it's big gushing all over the place. And then just at the start of the war, as I went down to the Battery Park, and here I met a big gang of soldiers out in a route march, and I stopped like a silly fool. And they came up and they were dragging, I don't know where I got all the money for them. They were pulling bottles out before I could sell them.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I come out good or bad with them. Helping themselves.
You got plenty now? That'll be good. I'm going to take a camera in during the week and I want a photograph of you and the